welcome to another Lunch and Learn from the Illinois Prison Project. I'm your boy, Ronaldo Hudson, Director of Education for the Illinois Prison Project. And I'm really so excited about this episode of this Lunch and Learn because we're talking about loving through the walls and how families are fighting against mass incarceration. And one of the beautiful things I want to really open up in this conversation is family is defined by different things. Most times we think of family and we think of bloodline, right? But family are the people that show up for you. Family is the community that we're striving to build as we work toward this abolitionist world we want to live in. And I really want to step back and say really quickly, like everyone don't know my story. It's really simple. I actually served over 37 years in prison, 7 in the county jail, 13 years on Illinois death row, and then another 17 years with life without the possibility of parole. And my blood family was not there. The family we call family simply wasn't there, but other people showed up. And I learned what family really looks like personally. But that being said, I really want to introduce our two guests today. Liz, I want to I'll popcorn it to you. You can popcorn it to Tiffany and just give a little description about who you are and we'll begin to just have this conversation about what I think true love looks like. Love is resistance and fighting to support your loved ones. With that being said, welcome, Liz. Please.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm Liz Futrell. I'm a writer, storyteller, mother. I've lived in Chicago for most of my life. I have a very close friend who's been in prison since I met him in the late 90s when I was a tutor at Cook County Jail as a college student. We haven't been in touch the whole time since then, but we knew each other back then, got in touch over the last decade, and are close friends. So that's, I think, what I'm mostly here to talk about today.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Good day, the world. My name is Tiffany Houston. My husband is Anthony Houston. He's been incarcerated since 2004 wrongfully. He and I have been together since 1996, married since 2002. So it's been a long journey. A long journey. We just made 24 years married July 5th. Today is his birthday. So happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, brother.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. But like you said, Renato, it's really been a hard struggle, difficult. Like say, even though you like say blood doesn't make you family, I always say God chooses your relative to let you choose your family. And you do pick up a lot of brothers and sisters and mothers and cousins through the system, learning and, being interactors, seeing them each day. So it is a difficult task, but with God's help, we'll get through it. And the support that you guys do, not just your organizations, the other organizations out here also. So please forgive me, guys. I'm a little nervous. I don't want to walk over my words, so please forgive me. But I'm so thankful for all the service and that you guys do, and not just you, just other organizations also. And thank you for hearing our voices.
No, absolutely. And I want to make something really clear. We can't do this without you.
Okay.
We can't do this without you, Tiffany. We can't do this
Thank you.
without Liz, because it is really about us. And that's really the message that we're really trying to convey to the world.
Yes.
How do we get through these horrible moments?
Absolutely.
Our integrity and our dignity intact while the humanity of ourselves and our loved ones. Because once again, we're all doing time together. When I think about all the years of my incarceration, I realized how much was lost and family was equally punished. How has your loved ones' incarceration changed your life in ways you've never expected?
Yeah, for me, it was difficult because we were young. We was in our 20s. And so when my husband was wrongfully incarcerated, took the head out the household for me. Our son was a young kid, our only child. So it was very, 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 very difficult. But I had to know if I had to stay strong for my son because he needed me. I had to be the one there for him. I had to stand strong through it all, support my husband. But at the end of the day, I understood that if I cannot take care of myself, I cannot take care of no one else. Understand if that makes any sense.
It does.
So if I couldn't take care of myself, I couldn't take care of anyone else. And I didn't want to have to sit here and please forgive me, I don't want to say a pity party, but I still had a young kid that I had to take care of. So I still had to stay strong. I still had to work. I still had to struggle, but I did get through. So I did get through, but it was difficult. I cannot lie to you. It was very, very difficult.
No, I appreciate that. And there is no thing of, we're not after perfection, we're after
Mm-hmm.
like, and we show up for each other through
Mm-hmm.
experiencing and then sharing space. Liz, would you like to touch that question, number one?
Yeah, my experience is totally the opposite because I met my friend while he was incarcerated because he was incarcerated. I was coming into the space and there he was. And so I'll say, I knew him in the jail for about 3 years, and then we lost touch. And then it was years later, I was kind of reflecting on my years at the jail and writing about that time, thinking about the people I had met. I found out that one of my longest term students had actually died in prison. And this friend of mine who I'm close with now was a mutual friend. And I just wanted to find somebody to talk to about that time, kind of see what he remembered. So we got back in touch and became close. And it turned out he had blossomed into this beautiful artist. I was writing. We started sharing our work with each other, and so for me and for him, I think we sort of opened up each other's worlds. So I made his world bigger by, kind of letting him into my life and connecting him with people in my world. And he did the same for me. Ronaldo, I wouldn't know
Yes.
you if it wasn't for him, actually. They were cellmates. And so through him, I met Ronaldo and other people who are now my friends and part of my communities. I've worked on projects and other things I never would have
Mm-hmm.
been exposed to without him. So amazingly, I think even though prison tries to do the opposite,
Mm-hmm.
our friendship has really expanded both of our worlds, despite the conditions.
Yes.
No, no, I appreciate that. And I'd like to ask y'all, our theme is love as resistance.
Mm-hmm.
What did staying connected to your loved one look like during the hardest times? Like, what does it feel like? What does it, and please, anytime, if you want to skip this question, like we will, like,
Mm-mm.
but like in those hard moments, like like, what keeps you holding on?
Well, for me, it was my vows I put before God. I knew the man that I married. I put my vows before God. He still is a good man. So it was my vows. Just to answer your question bluntly, it was my vows before God.
Yeah,
For me, for me,
appreciate that, absolutely.
yes.
I think for me, I'm thinking about a couple things. One is, when I reached back out to my friend, and we got back in touch after many years, I was working on some writing about some harm that I had experienced. And I knew that he had actually was in prison for something, doing something similar to what I had experienced. And as we wrote letters and got closer, we talked about that. I shared my experience. He ended up sharing his case, circumstances
Mm-hmm.
of his case with me.
Yeah.
It was really painful, but also really healing for both of us to just really kind of
Mm-hmm.
tell our truths, ask each other questions, go through
Mm-hmm.
kind of a restorative justice process of our own.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really powerful. I think it did kind of bond us together. And that was also during COVID, where
Yeah.
I was home, everyone was home. So I think people
Yeah.
who were not in prison just
Mm-hmm.
had more time and
Mm-hmm.
energy for letter writing, for video visits, for calls and things like that. They were in lockdown also without access to
Mm-hmm.
some of the usual
Mm-hmm.
distractions. So I think it was like for us, we had kind of this intensive deepening of our friendship, sort of
Mm-hmm.
because of what we were talking about, sort of because of the pandemic, which you would think, I mean, and in some ways it did make it harder and scarier for a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people. But I think for us, it also kind of created this space where we actually worked a lot of stuff out
Mm-hmm.
and got closer.
That's
No,
a blessing.
um, my next question is, what do you wish someone had told you when your journey as a supporter and loved one began? Like, is it something when you think right now, like, man, I wish somebody would have told me uh that and fill in the blanks?
Yes. Well, for me, I wish that someone would have told me that it's going to take time. And to be honest with you, you're going to hear some no's, not yet. I wasn't prepared for that. So patience is the key, but it's going to take time. You have to have faith. You have to have patience because it's going to take time. And you're going to hear some no's, not yet. So I wish I was prepared for the no's and the
Mm,
time. Oh my goodness. When I say the time restraint, oh my God. So that's for me.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, and again, for me, I mean, it's so interesting having this
Yes.
conversation because I feel like we're coming at it from these two
Yes.
so much in common. I think for me as a friend coming in, if someone would have told me, like, be careful what you promise, be
Oh.
careful what you commit to, especially because, like I
Hmm.
said, during the pandemic, I had all kinds of time and stuff that I didn't have as my kids got
Hmm.
older and
Hmm.
as we went back out into the world. And even before the pandemic, I think promising I'm going to come, with this frequency,
Hmm.
and then you realize like that gets really hard sometimes to kind of keep up
Yes.
that pace.
Hmm.
Someone would have told me like, you can still be a good friend even if you have to say no. You don't always
Hmm.
have to drop everything to answer the phone if it's not
Hmm.
convenient for you. Because my friend,
Hmm.
he hadn't been in touch
Hmm.
with any family or anyone on the outside for many years before I came around. And so I think
Hmm.
he certainly didn't ask me to, but I took on this role of, okay, I've got
Hmm.
to just really be there. And that's not
Yes.
sustainable if you're not careful. And then
Hmm.
Tiffany, to what you said,
Yes.
my friend and I worked on a clemency petition for him, and I
Okay.
knew I knew the odds were against us. I knew it was
Hmm.
hard, but I
Hmm.
think I wasn't really prepared for the no. I wasn't
Yes.
really prepared for the
Yes.
the failure. And so
Yes.
I don't know if anyone could have even told me, but that stuff
Oh.
it's one thing for someone to tell you, and then when you
Hmm.
experience it, it's
Absolutely.
Mm. No, I can tell y'all I experienced no's, not to like start no stuff, but like I
Hmm.
could have called me. Uh,
Yes.
but I also can tell you there's an other side of the story.
Okay.
Get to be a witness to you. Like, listen, like,
Hmm.
oh, like it took us 37 years,
Yes.
right? But we're on this side now, and we haven't,
Yes.
all those that are still on the other side. So, what helps you move from isolation to community? And what
Mm.
someone who feels alone today?
Okay. Well, for me, I had to write something down. So I said, do not be ashamed. Surround yourself around people that's going to pour into you positive affirmation, support. Do not keep your emotions bottled in. Open up because you never know who you're helping or who can help you. That was my answer.
No, I love that, and I appreciate you writing it.
Hmm.
I write more because of the influences of the ladies in my life. But I said, slow down and think about what you have to say. So I really appreciate that example because that in itself is a lesson for us, But thank you for that, Liz.
You're welcome.
Tiffany, I really love what you said because I feel like when
Thank
there
you.
is something that's stigmatized or when people do try to
Yes.
isolate you, the more you speak about it, the more you disrupt that and you find your people. So I really like that. For me, I
Thank
know
you.
like when I really started, my friendship back up with this person who's in prison, and especially when we started working on the clemency petition, I did feel very alone.
Yes.
None of the people I'm really close to out here, I mean, or at the time back then,
Hmm.
had close loved ones in prison. I didn't really have people
Yes.
who could relate to what I was thinking about, and I was reaching out to organizations and just not getting any responses. I just wasn't in communities with people
Yeah.
dealing with the same stuff. And so for me, it was actually really when my friend who's in prison, when his friends, cellmates, and close loved ones who had been inside with him started coming home. They're
Hmm.
they are my connections. They became my friends as
Hmm.
well. They became my community around these issues. They understood the things that we
Hmm.
were grappling with. So it was really when his friends started coming home that I started to find my community.
Yes.
No, I'm curious, Liz. I want to push you a little bit because I know the person you're talking about.
Hmm.
And I think I might have even been in the cell with him, you
Yeah.
know. And so like that question really is like for me important because it goes to the point of
Hmm.
who is built and like what family
Hmm.
like and what love and resistance connected together to that looks like.
Hmm.
If you would, do you mind just sharing our connection? Because I think it's
Yeah.
an element.
Yeah. I will. 'Cause I mean, really, IPP was the first place that I found any community. I'm so
Mm,
grateful for the Illinois Prison Project because basically, like I said, I went through this process with my friend of I told him about some of my experiences. He shared, his case with me, and
mm,
he's guilty and it's awful. Also, he's serving an excessive sentence. He was, um, experiencing misconduct by the police.
mhm,
Wasn't exactly what you imagine justice
mhm,
should look like. We don't know anything
mhm,
about how this is actually. And that's kind of horrifying. He told me his story of his arrest and thing. And so I started reaching out to organizations for help. I started working on a clemency petition, and IPP was just starting then. And they had just put
mhm,
up this tool. They basically said, we don't have the capacity to take your case on, but here's our
mhm,
toolkit and things. And so I started using IPP's toolkits.
mhm,
They had these legal clinics, online legal clinics, and other events that I would attend. And that was kind of how I started connecting with people and resources. But I'm not a
mhm,
lawyer. I've never done anything like this. So other
mhm,
than IPP's guidance, I didn't really know what I was doing.
mm,
And, this was during COVID. It was in 2020. And
mm,
my friend kept telling me every time there were new COVID cases, they would like reshuffle the whole prison and everyone would get moved
mm,
around. So that
mm.
summer, he was like, I just ended up on this new wing with all these people who are also applying for clemency. And I think my cellmate's going to get it. And he started telling me about his cellmate's clemency petition and how he was an IPP client. And then he started sending me snippets of his cellmate's clemency petition so we could use some of the legal language or look at some of the
Mhm.
cases. 'Cause I don't know how to do legal research. So we're kind of like borrowing passages and whatever and working on it. And then one morning, I opened the Chicago Tribune, and the front page story
Oh,
is
wow.
about Ronaldo. And I'm reading it, and I'm like, huh, like that. I wonder if that's, my friend's cellmate. And I'm
Yes. Wow.
scrolling through the pictures in the Tribune, and I see this drawing, and it's a drawing my friend made of Ronaldo the night before he was released. And so I was like, oh my gosh, that is my friend's cellmate, and I just was like, I gotta meet this guy
Yes.
eventually. And so a few months after Ronaldo settled in, my friend did put us in touch, and Ronaldo was so this case was really hard. It's
Yes.
a difficult case, and I was kind of steeped in it and thinking about my own
Mm,
past and the victim in the
mhm.
case. And I was really
Yes.
just praying at a certain point. I was praying for a friend, like, God, give me
Mhm.
someone just to talk to about this stuff,
Yes.
someone to help me through. And then Ronaldo landed in my life and became this awesome friend. He did help us with the petition, but since then we've worked together on all kinds of things. And so I do feel amazed at how this one friendship kind of expanded my world in a lot of ways.
That's a blessing.
The
Oh,
reason,
that's a beautiful.
no, the reason I wanted you to share that is because IPP is striving to be a community family every day. And I
Mhm,
think it's important for us to connect and like figure out like, you know what? The lawyers might not be available for everyone, but
mhm,
available for everyone that we're able to be available for
mhm,
and extend it so that if each one of us do a little bit, it don't take one person to,
mhm.
you know,
Absolutely.
to share that. And like, it's so funny because the painting or the drawing that you talk about is actually my friend and my brother Santiago, which I legally can say his name because he said, but I think it's important that his story is told. And he's an amazing brother who's accepted responsibility for his behavior.
Mhm,
We talk about change. We're not only talking about liberating
mhm.
guilty, but also the exoneration.
Absolutely.
They should be free. But we have
Mhm,
a world where mercy and justice
mhm.
same seat. It can't be separate, you know.
Absolutely.
Get on my soapbox, but I just wanted to share that. So here,
Yeah,
the next question is, how
that's it.
do you learn to care for yourself while supporting someone you love, and why is that important?
Okay. Well, for me, like I said before in the earlier conversation, the first question, if you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of no one else. And pressure will burst a pipe. Like I said, I had a kid I had to take care of. It was very important that I show up. And I know that life is filled with adversities. I understand that, but you have to keep your head up. You have to stay strong. You have to stay focused, and you have to stay grounded. And like I said, once again, from my experience, because I didn't have the family support. I picked up a lot of brothers and sisters outside or in the prisons, which is sad to say, but you have to surround yourself around people, once again, that's going to pour into you and that and not take out of you. So you have to stay strong, because like I say, life is filled with adversity. So you have to stay strong, because life is going to life regardless, but you have to stay strong. So to answer your question from my perspective.
No, I appreciate that. Liz?
Yeah, I cannot even compare my situation to somebody whose partner is incarcerated, who's a single parent raising children. It's just not at all the same thing. But I would say for me as a friend, it is about like recognizing that setting boundaries and limits is a kind thing, that you can be a good friend, and that doesn't mean you have to drop everything the second the phone rings. I think, just kind of being clear with yourself and the other person, what you can do, and what you are capable of. And then I just think, I was just scheduling a prison visit for my friend's birthday, which is this month. And for me, it's like, oh, when I go down that way, that my hairstylist is down that way. So I'll go get my hair done. And then there's this, restaurant I really like that's on the way home. So I even like on the days of the prison visit, I kind of turn it into a little road trip for myself. So I think there's all kinds of ways to do self-care, because I think for me and a lot of people, you come out of prison feeling full from your time with the person, and also you carry the weight of that place out with you. And so what can you do to kind of care for yourself through that? Everyone's got to come up with those little things that keep them strong.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I think it's important because I'm really an advocate as the best I can. I like to laugh. One of the things I use to care for myself is find stuff to laugh at. And oftentimes it's, stuff that people wouldn't think would be funny. And I don't mean in a mean, because I'm not a mean, funny person, but like when I think about Dan visits, right? And one of the things, Liz, I want to say this to both of you all.
Yes.
It's never a comparison. It's really an experience. And
Absolutely.
I think the connecting glue is that we love incarcerated people that we're trying to bring home, right? And
Absolutely.
and one of the things that I got to experience is why I wanted you on this show specifically was because I rode to Danville with you. And one of the things you all, I just want to say this, that resonated with me was I thought about what it takes to drive to that prison. And I was like, I was experiencing a different thing, because Liz, forgive me for saying this, she's just looking over and there, you see that eagle. And one of the things, Liz, I want to say this to both of you all.
Yes.
It's never a comparison. It's really an experience. And
Absolutely.
I think the connecting glue is that we love incarcerated people that we're trying to bring home, right? And
Absolutely.
and one of the things that I got to experience is why I wanted you on this show specifically was because I rode to Danville with you. And one of the things you all, I just want to say this, that it's a really long ride.
It's a long ride.
Yeah.
It hit me though. And it really, tell this to y'all, I really mean it. It brought me to, because I said, man, I'm so sorry. Never articulated to the people that love me. Appreciate what they did. And to y'all, I can say on behalf of those that have experienced and are experiencing the love right now, thank you. Because, to put up the drive. Sister, Tiffany.
Yes. Well, I'm here. I'm here now.
I'm really so grateful because I know I was in Lawrence.
Yes.
And so I rode in that bus and I'm like, oh my God, it's taking us to the earth, right?
Yeah.
And so that, like, to be able to take care of yourself, but more than anything, to love someone, to care so much for someone that you will take, the time that it takes.
Yes.
And to experience not the best treatment once you do all that driving. And so to be able to find a way to laugh it through and be like, Liz, it's important to be able to find a restaurant and say, like, I need a drink. I need, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Crazy. So thank you, babe, for helping me, like, really.
I just want to say, like, when I go on visits, you know, I'm always humbled by the other. It's always mostly women, you know, not
Yeah,
always, but it's like a
yeah.
lot of women, also in the visiting room or in the waiting to go in, and everyone ends up talking. And a lot of them are coming like, I go a few times a year. A lot of people are coming every week, more than
Mhm.
once a week. I've met people who've moved from Chicago down to the Danville area to be closer
Mhm.
or totally changed their lives, and people who've been doing it for 20 years. And so I think you find solidarity in each other and some comfort in each other. Like there's all these
Yes,
people who know exactly what this is like, who are doing it too. And so there is something I think comforting about that. Or it's awful, but also you just feel less alone in it.
yes.
No,
I
I-
totally agree.
yeah. So I have another question for y'all, if that's okay.
Yes, no problem.
If you could change one thing to better support families impacted by incarceration, what would it be?
Oh my goodness. Well, for me, in my experience, I would have advocate more. I would like to be more involved, advocate more, show up more, go learn the law, go to Springfield, lobbying days, things of that nature. Get involved for me.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would second that. It's like you want
Yes.
to feel like you're doing something, especially when your person is serving such a long sentence. You know, you don't want
Hmm.
to just feel like you can have a relationship and support the person, but also what are you doing to change
Hmm.
the conditions? What are you doing to
Yes.
change their particular situation and then the system as a whole? And so I think you have to be kind of
Hmm.
ideally doing both at the same time. And I'll just
Hmm.
be honest, for me, it's like I did
Hmm.
the clemency petition, it was not
Hmm.
successful. And since then I haven't, I mean, Ronaldo, you and I are working on systemic stuff, but when it comes to sort of excessive sentencing, I haven't really been doing anything. So I agree, those on-ramps, those opportunities that I
Hmm.
know IPP does offer, whether you
Hmm.
have like one day that you can go to Springfield, whether there's more regular opportunity to get involved. I think that really is good for people on multiple levels. And it does
Yes,
create the community that we're saying is so important too.
that's
Yeah.
right.
Can I extend to both of you? And Liz, you said this, please
Hmm.
be open to giving yourselves grace.
Hmm.
Take a lot to stay in and fight, you know.
Yes.
And I promise y'all, like, I sat in through 7 governors, right?
Mm.
And so, like, just wrap your mind around that.
Hmm.
I feel so privileged, like, that I can't stop doing this, even when I get mad,
Hmm.
like, agitated. And I promise y'all,
Hmm.
right? But I always get back to, like, man, but it's so many people that don't
Hmm.
have a chance, not a second chance,
That's right.
right?
That's
And
right.
the innocent to the guilty, right?
Hmm.
And this system don't care. It's a system of process, it's not a system of justice, you know? And the more people understand that, then we can really take the walls down and say, my person is this. No, people are being punished.
Hmm.
The scripture says it, right? My people are lost for a lack of knowledge,
And for a lack of knowledge, my people are, yes,
right?
my people are lost for lack of knowledge.
Right. Until we can wrap our minds around
Hmm.
that helps to liberate and free people, then we
Hmm.
stay stuck, right? So I really
Yes.
thank you. Like, but I do want to ask both of you. And
Yes.
one, is there anything that you would like to share that I didn't ask? Like, please don't hesitate. Just let it fly.
Well, you touched all the bases for me. Like I said, once again, my husband and I was young when the head was taken out the household. We had goals, we had plans, we had plans for life, our future, and all of that was just gone in a blink of an eye. But of course, we had to pick up the pieces and move forward. But I just want to just thank you guys once again for having me. This was my very first time on a panel, and I'm so thankful for you guys. Thank you for me. Even lobbying day was my very first time. I really enjoyed myself, and it opened up my eyes. It opened up my eyes. It opened up my world. And like I said, I want to be more involved. So you guys touched all the key points. I'm so thankful and grateful that you guys even thought of enough of me to have me on the panel. And once again, I say I do apologize because I talk so fast that I don't want to walk over my words, but thank you guys so much. And when I say that you guys have a phenomenal team, I really mean it. And like I said, Ricardo, when I say I met you on lobbying day, and I tell anyone that when we speak of you and whatever the situation may be, even your niece, I say you would have thought that he did 37 years and then some on death row. You would have never thought, because when I say you have a vibrant personality, a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful person, and you bring light to the room and the world. So thank you, and God bless you and all of you guys, and thank you for having me. And listen, let me let you guys know I love you guys. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Don't you dare try. We family now. We family.
Liz.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I don't want to get teary here, but I'm just thinking about how, like, when I met Santiago, he was 21 and he's turning 50 this month.
Oh,
That's really hard to think about.
yes.
And and I think this conversation is motivating me to, like, okay, what am I doing? So the next
Yeah.
lobbying day or the next opportunity there is
Yeah.
to re-involve myself. I feel like I need to and want to get back to that. And this is a good time I've got some open time in my life to do that. So I'm motivated this has been refreshing and motivating to get back to it. And I think, Tiffany, just seeing your strength, is so inspiring to me, and love that
Thank you.
both of you exude is really beautiful. So thank you for including me in this conversation.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
I promise y'all both fit. Like, this is family, and like I send pure love to y'all, and like
Thank
I appreciate what y'all doing. And just remember, we are going to win if we just never give up.
That's right.
So I'm really grateful. Thank y'all for like just showing up and caring. All right.
Thank you. You're welcome. And thank you for having me.
All right. Once again, you all, as we close today, I want to leave you with one simple truth. Families serve time too. Prison walls don't just separate the person inside, they reach into the living room, the dining table, the bank accounts, the birthdays, the holidays, and the hearts. I know what I meant when people refused to give up on me. I know how I felt. I know what it feels like. Hope showed up in phone calls, however. Hope showed up in letters and visits and prayers and people who believed I was more than my worst thing I have ever done. Love became an act of resistance. To every family member and friend here today, I want you to know that I see you. The Illinois Prison Project see you. Your sacrifice matter. Your voices matter. Your healing matters. And you are not standing on the sidelines in this movement. You are helping to lead it. My call of action is really simple. Don't carry the weight alone. Find your people, build community, ask for help, offer help. Healing has always happened in circles, never in isolation. Because when we strengthen the families, we strengthen the community. And we choose hope, love, and faith over fear and isolation. All of us move one step closer to justice when we do it together. I love you. Thank you for another Lunch and Learn from the Illinois Prison Project. I'm your boy, Ronaldo. Peace. Peace.